The story begins with Kate, who suddenly comes to her senses with a scream. She finds herself in a strange room where there's a mattress on the floor and the walls are covered. Kate looks at her hand, which bears a ring mark. Her clothes are amiss. When she tries to remember why she's here and what happened before, she can't recall anything. It's as if this is where it all started for her. She looks around feeling trapped and calls for help, knocking on the door loudly. But then she hears a strange noise from outside. Terrified, she sits in the corner of the room. For a while, she hears scary noises, and then everything calms down. Kate gets up from her place. Suddenly, the room's light goes off, and when she looks again, the door of the room is open. Kate slowly emerges and reaches a hallway. The place is either underground or in a large building. Along the way, Kate sees another room's door. When she peers through the hall, she sees a man locked inside, just like her. They exchange a few words and move on, hopeful to find a way out. As they walk, they reach a gate that's locked. Near this gate, they meet two more people, Charlie and Stacy, who have also emerged from rooms. Charlie and Stacy, dressed the same and without memory, are also searching for an escape. So, the four of them decide to check the place from both sides, believing that there must be a way out on one side. They agree to meet back at this spot after a while, each determined to find a way to freedom and to unravel the mystery of their captivity. When Kate and Jack go further, they find a room, one containing something resembling a coffin, but with wires attached to it. They thought it was a sensory deprivation tank, where people usually lie to calm their minds. Jack and Kate explore the room, and those strange voices are heard again. On the other side, Charlie and Stacy reach a separate room. This room has a bookshelf and a blackboard with words scrawled across it. From time to time, they too hear those eerie voices, and it feels like there's something else present. There, they find a girl who was already there, named Amber. Eventually, Stacy also joins them. The girl, Amber, calmly emerges from the pool. She has seen them both and assures them there's no need to hide. She looks serene as Charlie attempts to gather information from her, wanting to know where they are and why. But Amber's story is the same. She doesn't remember anything. One thing that sets her apart is her apparent indifference. Amber then asks them to turn around so she can change clothes. Both comply, but while she's changing, Charlie catches a glimpse of Amber's shadow, and it looks strange. He turns around quickly, but Amber appears normal. Amber coolly responds that she already knows what's going to happen. When Stacy demands to know what that means, Amber chillingly replies, "You are all going to die." The statement hangs in the air, unsettling and strange. On the other hand, Kate and Jake reach another room, where an old man is lying on the bed, attached to a machine. Examining him closely, Kate tells Jake that the man is dead and notes that the machine has been used 8 times. Although Kate can't remember anything specific, she feels an unsettling familiarity with the machine and the place. Both of them are inappropriately dressed, but they find 2 white lab coats, possibly belonging to the doctors working there, and put them on. They begin searching the lab to uncover what this place is or what might be happening there. They don't find much, but Kate's attention is drawn to a tray lying on top of a shelf. She asks Jake to retrieve it. When Jake does so, the steel tray slips from his hand and crashes to the ground, its loud noise echoing through the building. They both become fearful, realizing that if anyone else is there, they will surely be drawn to the noise. They don't know who else might be present or what intentions they may have. After a short while, a man appears, attacking Jake as soon as he enters. Kate fights him to save Jake, but the man, whose name is Dave, overpowers her. Just as he's about to kill Kate, she tells him that they're trapped there just like him, noting that they're all wearing the same clothes. Recognizing the truth in her words, Dave releases Kate. Dave shares the same story of waking up in a cell without any memory, not even of his name. He had attacked Jake and Kate because he thought they might be the people who kidnapped him. Kate emphasizes that they must work together to escape, and Dave mentions a steel door he found, locked with electricity. He had tried to open it, but failed, believing it to be the only way out. Jake and Kate realized that the strange noises they heard upon waking might have been Dave, struggling to open the door. They know they must continue to work together if they hope to unravel the mystery of their captivity and find a way to freedom. Now their fear was beginning to subside slightly when Jake notices that the shadows of objects in the room were morphing into different shapes. Shadows formed on the wall in front of Dave, and a black entity emerges, a ball coming out of it, which brushes past Dave's ears. Jake and Kate immediately start running away from there. As they flee, Jake looks back to see the entity pull Dave inside. Kate and Jake run to the deprivation room, where Jake suggests they hide for a while. Kate refuses, insisting that they are not safe there, and they continue to run with the entity close behind. While making their escape, Jake's hand is injured, so Kate binds it with a cloth. They stay in the room for a while, and when they believe the entity has gone, they venture out, like Charlie and Stacy. They also see the same stairs, so they descend to the pool. They find footprints leading to the locker room, and following them, they arrive there. They look around but see nothing, though a towel on the bench is still wet. Suddenly, Amber appears from behind, startling them. Charlie and Stacy are with her. Jake and Kate relay the incident to them, explaining that a dangerous entity attacked them and tried to kill them. Stacy and Charlie are skeptical. Jake mentions that the entity that killed the man talked about a door, so Amber suggests they should at least look for it. Everyone sets out in search of the steel door, but something seems odd about Amber. She appears to know the place and is not scared at all. When they reach the large iron door, they find the key lying there. They realize that it's not the door Dave had talked about, and uncertainty looms as they consider their next move. The key was lying there, and there was also a file. Jake suggests that maybe they shouldn't open the door, but Kate proceeds to do so. When they go inside, they find a man tied in a cell. His name is Steve. As the others are peering into the woman's cell, Amber leaves without telling anyone. Everyone else cautions Kate against opening the door, fearing the unknown woman's identity, but Kate opens it anyway, driven by a desire to help. Before Kate can free her, the same entity that killed Dave appears behind Steve. Jack urges everyone to leave the area. Once outside, Steve confronts Amber, and Jack questions why she left without saying anything. Amber cryptically answers that she knows they are all going to die, just like everyone who worked there. Kate's attention turns to a door. Despite Jack's protestations not to open any more doors, Kate uses the keys she found earlier to unlock it. Inside, they find 8 lockers, each containing a file corresponding to one of them. Upon opening the lockers, they find clothes and, in Deb's locker, a gun and a torch. Steve takes the gun, knowing how to use it, and directs Amber to lead them to the room where she first awoke. Before reaching it, they hear a phone ringing. They search for it, finding it in a steel room, but none of Kate's keys open the door. In the meantime, the phone started ringing again. The sound was coming from the other side of the mirror, so Steve shoots the mirror. As soon as it breaks, they quickly reach the other room, but it was too late by then. The phone had stopped ringing. The phone was of no use to call out. It could only receive calls. Upon closer examination, they notice blood on the walls of the room, but find no corpses. Amber suggests that the blood might belong to the people who worked there, and the entity that killed them is to blame. Charlie starts investigating the computer in the room and discovers that they are in a secret psychiatric research facility. Some experiments were going on there, led by a man named Dr. Patrick. According to the information, Dr. Patrick created a machine capable of erasing human memories. The machine was intended for people who had experienced something terrible and couldn't forget those memories. The first use of the machine was on Amber, who had something horrific happen in her life. Now, with her memory gone, she's better than before. The second subject was Steve, who was a criminal. Charlie reveals that the machine has been used 8 times, with Jake being the last subject. But Dr. Patrick wanted to take his experiments further, and when he did, something went wrong. Jake, Deb, and Amber were patients here, while Steve, Charlie, and Stacy were staff members. Information about Kate remained unclear. They find a map, and Kate informs everyone that the only way out is through a door that is electronically closed, located upstairs. Charlie says he can open the door if he finds another computer. The group faces a dilemma. The entity becomes more powerful in the dark, but Charlie insists that if the lights go out in the building, the computer will remain on for backup, allowing him to open the door quickly. Upon arriving at the destination, Kate makes a shocking discovery. The facility is not locked, and the old man who appeared to be brain dead had the machine used on him 8 times. This means that one of them is lying. Deb suspects Charlie, reasoning that if he's still alive, there must be a reason behind it. Steve and Stacy head back to Charlie to ensure he doesn't try anything harmful, leaving Jake and Kate behind. While waiting, Kate finds a tag with Jake's name written on it, leading them to realize that the old man is actually Jake, and the person with them is an imposter. She confronts the imposter, demanding to know who he is and what's happening. He confesses that when he used the machine on the old man for the last time, the machine couldn't find his mind. Instead, his soul took the form of the malevolent entity. Kate, in a moment of realization and confusion, asks, "Who am I?" Jake responds, revealing that she is his wife and that they were both working on this memory, a racing project together. Upon Steve and Stacy's return, Jake suddenly attacks Steve. Kate reacts quickly, making Jake unconscious, while Stacy runs away in fear. Meanwhile, Charlie successfully opens the main door using the computer. But this action causes the lights to go off in the building. Armed only with a torch, Charlie and Amber head for the exit, but the darkness allows the entity to attack. They run to the pool and jump into the water, momentarily escaping the entity. Amber theorizes that it may be afraid of water. As Charlie climbs out of the pool, the entity captures Amber while she's still in the water. A flash of the torch reveals her sudden disappearance. Kate and Stacy, also on the run, find themselves pursued by Jake, who has regained consciousness and armed himself with a gun. He corners them and locks them in the deprivation room, where the entity soon appears. In a panic, Stacy locks herself in a coffin, narrowly escaping the fate that would have awaited her otherwise. Jake, determined to escape, heads for the main gate. However, an injured Steve is waiting for him and launches a surprise attack. The outcome of this confrontation is left hanging, increasing the tension and uncertainty of the situation. Jake had a gun, so he shoots Steve. After a while, the same entity kills Jake. Now only Kate and Charlie are left, as Stacy can't get out. Kate and Charlie meet each other and run to the same door, but the entity is right behind them. They have light, so with its help, they chase the entity away and manage to escape from that place, which was situated between the ground and the forest. After coming out, they both run into the forest, but now the entity has also come out. Something that shouldn't have happened. It's nighttime, so the entity could easily hunt them. They don't know from which direction the attack will come since it's dark, so they just keep running. At one point, they fall down, and the entity reaches them. Just as it is about to kill them, fate intervenes. Morning is breaking, and in the light of the sun, the entity's existence is eradicated. After a while, Kate and Charlie get up. They're happy because they were saved, and now they are looking for a way out of this forest. This is where the story ends.